All right, we're here with former Bettendorf star, former Iowa star, Colts linebacker Pat Anger. We're talking some NFL draft with him. Pat, thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me, man.
Let's go back in time a little bit to Iowa. You have a really good junior year, kind of a breakout year. Mm-hmm. Is that about the time that you kind of got NFL, dreams becoming a reality, or when did you first know, hey, I might be able to play in the league?
And I never really. I just want to play at Iowa. That was the thing. I just want to get on the field and play. I had a good junior year, and then we have like a little junior day where you run your 40 and do all that stuff, and had some success there, and started getting some looks. And the big thing was I got to take care of my job first in order to go to the next level. But I really didn't start thinking about it significantly until halfway through my senior year.
And then obviously you end with the Orange Bowl victory. What is the process after that? You're done with eligibility, obviously. It's not like you're coming out early, but what's the process once the game's done, once you guys get back to Iowa City? What kind of starts everything going?
Yeah, I stayed in Iowa City to train. Coach Doyle was the best, so I wanted to stay there. The next step's finding an agent. You got to have an agent. Everybody's got to have an agent or whatever. And got a guy who had a bunch of Iowa guys. My brother basically sifted through agents that he thought I would work best with. I didn't want to have any contact with him during the season. And found a guy, Jack Beckta, represents a lot of Iowa guys, and found him, trained hard, listened to him, listened to all the Iowa guys who were back training, and just gained knowledge.
How much did you talk with Kirk about maybe what you needed to do to catch the guy's eyes, the scout's eyes, or did Kirk kind of tell you, you're already ready to go? I assume you met with him. Mm-hmm. Take me through that meeting, I guess. What did he have to say?
Yeah, there wasn't like a specific meeting where I met with Coach Ferentz. It was more, he would come in and talk and give you pointers. Coach Doyle was obviously a big influence. This is what you got to do, this is what you got to look forward to. At Iowa, a lot of guys come back that are in the NFL, come back in the offseason and train. So that was a big thing for me to be able to pick their brains and say, hey, what's the combine looking like? What do you got to do here? What questions do I have to prepare for? But the big thing is, keep doing what you're doing, getting better every step of the way.
Who specifically did you lean on, the former guys coming back that were in the NFL?
Yonda, Mitch King. There's so many guys that were back. It was, Scott Chandler. He had been around the game for a while. A lot of those guys. And, fortunately, there was a lot of guys my age that were going. So we were kind of going together and brushing things off each other. And my agent, Jack, was a great help, too.
So you obviously go to Indy in the Combine. I know we've talked a couple times before. What did you think of that whole spectacle? Because it's kind of, it's made for TV, especially as now. Maybe it wasn't as much back then, but now, it's kind of, there's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes that probably means more to how a player is going to be perceived than there is that's on TV.
Yeah, really, everybody gets worried about the 40 time and your height and all that stuff. And I think the only thing I really did good at the Combine was measure 6 foot, which I'd never been anywhere in my life. But a lot of it is, you're up early, you're getting scans, you're taking mental tests, psych evaluations, talking to different coaches and GMs, and it's a lot of interview stuff. And then you get to you work out the last couple days, and you're going to run the 40 in 10 minutes. Then we're going to push back and it's just it's a lot to juggle. It was nice to get done with it. It's a good opportunity to compete and meet a lot of guys from across the country that you played with.
What was the toughest part of it for you? If you had to pick something that, I really didn't get the feel for it.
I would have brought more food. They don't really feed you very well there. It's just sandwiches and just random stuff, and you're up so early and late at night you're getting scans and meeting with coaches, and it's pretty mentally draining, way more than physical, because you're pretty much only competing physical-wise, probably less than a minute total. But yeah, obviously wish I would have ran faster and grew taller and been stronger, but it worked out.
So you meet with the teams there, and then you have pre-draft meetings all around the country again, right?
I only had one where I flew down to New Orleans, met with the Saints, had a couple teams that would come in and I'd chat with them a little bit, but not a lot. Never talked to the Colts really throughout the whole process at all.
So coming up to draft week, that was what I was going to ask you. Did you have a sense that Indy was interested in you? Did you think it was going to be New Orleans because you flew down there? Like, what I guess was your mindset coming into that draft week?
My agent did a good job of lowering my expectations. He was like, listen, you could go second round, you could go third round, fifth round, you could even go free agent. He goes, don't go in there expecting anything, go in there having a good time. And when I got the call from the Colts, I was very surprised, especially on the second day. It was a pretty good time.
So you're up at your house, am I right? And you had what'd you have going there? Because if it's a little earlier than you expected, were you guys ready for it? Were you kind of just like, were you still in pajamas? Like, what was?
we had a bunch of people over, just watching it and stuff. And me and my wife went down to my parents' basement and we're playing cards and drinking beer, and got the call, and came completely unexpected. And prior to that, my cell phone had broken, so I was using somebody's borrowed pink cell phone. And then you have your friends texting you and messing with you and prank phone calls and all that stuff, and trying to decipher through that. But we were just hanging out, and it was a great surprise.